Hey guys, so you need to do your final review. This is the last big assignment of the semester, so you need to do it. Okay, you only have to show work on a few. Most of the questions are super easy, and I'm going to put links and add the description for a time code, so you can just skip to the questions so you can see examples exactly like what you're doing. Make sure you're nice to the sub, make sure you show the work on the ones I ask you to, and that's pretty much it. Just make sure your grades are straight, and you're good. Okay. So on these first couple, it just asks you for the complex conjugate. It's going to all be the same except for the sign in front of the I. So instead of being plus 10, this is going to be minus 10. Don't forget the I. Done. The first number, you don't change it. You change the sign on the one with the I, but only on the one with the I. Change the sign on the one with the I. Oh, I made it a 12 instead of an 11. Okay, now these ones you should have in your journal. You should have your notes from complex numbers. Let me just try to adjust this real quick. You're just going to use this. You're going to take your calculator and you're going to take this power, this 117, you're going to have a different number, just divide by 4. To get it as a decimal instead, you're going to press Control Enter. 25 cents. So my change is 25 cents, so it's a I. There's no work to show on these few. So same thing, 74 divided by 73 divided by 4. Now for me, I just put a decimal after the 4, and it'll automatically give it to me as a decimal. The answer is still I. Okay, this is just like these. We learned that the negative comes out as an I. So for this one, I've got negative 12 on the inside. The negative comes out as an I. Break down the 12. 4 and 3, 2 and 2. The 2 comes out, the 3 stuck on the inside. It's really that easy. Now, if yours doesn't break out down, then it just stays the exact same. I gotta remember my 2. Done. For this one, you're just graphing. The first number is your real component, so that's your x. The second number is your imaginary or complex, and that's your up and down. So I'm going to go over 8, and notice that it's giving me the coordinate. I can see on here when I hover over it, the coordinate pops up. So I'm at 9, I need it to be at 8, and then down 7. Done. Now here it's giving me the coordinate, and I need to tell them where it's located. It's over 9, and since it's to the left, it's negative, and it went down 6. Don't forget the I for the complex plane. Now we're getting into it. This is where I want to see some work. Your first one's going to be a difference of squares. For me, the answer is going to be 5 and negative 5. Okay, this is a difference to squares again, 4 and negative 4. You're going to have one where you're going to factor stuff out. So I've got negative 5x squared minus 5x plus 100 equals 0. It has to be 0 or you can't start. If it's not 0, make it 0 by moving it to the other side. I'm going to take a negative 5 out. So I just really divided each of these by negative 5 to figure out what would be inside. Set up your x. The negative 20 is on the bottom. The 1's on the top. It's going to be 4 and 5, and the 4 is negative. See how those multiply to negative 20? Add to positive 1. x minus 4, x plus 5. Set each part equal to 0 and solve. Now some of you are going to be looking at me sideways, so all I did was this. But I'm hoping at this point in the year, you can solve that in your head. That's it. So we've got 4, negative 5. Okay, I want to see the x's on these. I want to see those x's. Okay. Can't factor out a 2 from these, so the 2 multiplies to the 49. 49 breaks down to 7 and 7. Looks like I can do, 14 and 7. 14 plus 7 is 21. 14 times 7, 49. Set up my parentheses. Divide by that front number, what you multiplied by. If it reduces nicely, reduce it. If it doesn't, it goes in front. Set each part equal to 0. Solve. Set each part equal to 0. Solve. Those are my answers. Yep. Okay, it's asking me for the x-intercepts. It's going to be an x question again. Okay, it's going to be 7 and 4 because those are the only options I have that get me to 11 and to 28. So I've got x plus 7, x plus 4, set each part equal to 0 and solve. Now these are the answers, but it wants it as an intercept, so you're going to put it in a point. This is the x value, and the y value is 0 because you're on the x-axis. So make sure you have those parentheses. Make sure you have that comma. Make sure you have all the formatting right. This one's super easy. You're just going to move this to match the curve. Looks pretty good to me. That's too low. Yep, that's as good as it gets. This one you're going to need your calculator. You're going to be following where's my page? You're going to be following this page. I'm going to throw this in, so turn it on. I'm going to get a new document. We're not going to save anything that's there. I'm going to follow these steps exactly. I'm going to add a list and spreadsheet. I'm going to insert a graph. Okay, I'm going to go back to the other tab by pressing Control arrow. I'm now going to put in my lists. Okay, so I'm looking, these are my X's, these are my Y's. So making sure that my X's are with the correct Y. I need to make sure that those are together. So the 0 and the 50.46 have to be at the same line. Okay. Put my information in. Move my cursor so it's not on the data. I like to put it so that it's at the top, right next to it. Then we do menu 416. Put in the A and the B so it looks exactly like that. it's going to pop out your data. Gave me my equation. This is my ABC. So this is the number that goes in front of the x squared. This goes in front of the x, and this is the number at the end. So looking at this, I know that my A is positive. So it's going to be one of these top two. My B is negative 13, so this is my only choice. Okay. Now here, I have to predict something. I'm going to make the model again. I'm going to leave everything the same. I'm just going to write over the top of the data, get new data. So 0 is fine. Then I'm going to do 28.53, and it's going to recalculate the model for me. So it's going to make me a new equation that fits the new data. This should be a 3. This is going to be 42.27. Okay, and then I don't need this one, so I'm going to delete both of the ones I don't need. Now it will have created, without me having to go through it again, it's going to create me a new equation. This used to be 0.99, this one used to be negative 13, so I know it's already changed. We're going to go to the graph, Control Tab, there we go. Now it's telling me I'm on my second equation. I want to go to my first equation, so I just press the up arrow. And that box isn't checked because I haven't told it to graph it. So to graph it, I just tell it enter. Cha-ching! There's my graph. Now we're just going to trace this. So menu 5, 1 to trace. Okay. And then I want to know at 5. At 5, it's 41.5. Now I don't know if the calculator has already rounded up to the 0.5 or if it was already at 0.5. So my answer could be 41 or 42. I'm going to start with 41, and we're going to try that. So then I'm going to try 42. Oh no, did I do something wrong? Okay, it says I got it wrong, which means I must have put my data in wrong. So let's find the mistake. 0, 2, 4, 3, 7. Oh, I forgot to change that to a 7. That's my mistake. I didn't change number 7. I got wrong on mine. Okay, so I'm going to have to do a new question. Let's try again. Let's be extra careful on our data. 6, 7, 10. Okay, don't care. Okay, 0 should be 71.92. 65, yeah, I don't care. 65.15. Yeah, I don't care. 48.37. 49.66. 54.75. And then 69.49. Okay. Yep, those look better. Let's go see. Menu 3.1. Press up, make it graph. Menu 5.1 to trace. I want to go to 3. So I'm going to put in 3. 51 or 52 is going to be my answer. Oh, please. Before I do, I'm going to just double check that I put in my data right, because I don't want to do this again. Looks right to me. Okay, so let's try 51. Yay, it worked. Okay, so now it's going to give me a situation, and I just have to interpret it. The equation below describes the height of a frog, horizontal distance, find the y-intercept. Okay, the y-intercept on this is 0 because there's no number at the end, so the number is 0. So I know it's either this one or this one. Then it's always going to be where it started from. So this is the one where it started. This is the one where it ended. So the y-intercept's always where you're starting. So that's it. The graph below describes the height of a bridge and arch in terms of x in the center of the arch. Okay, from the center of the arch. What is the correct interpretation of the y-intercept? Oh, that's the highest point on the bridge. So that's the top or the highest point. The middle of the bridge is this much, yep. We don't know how long it is, we just know how tall it is. This is really just a units. Can you read what the question's asking? Okay, we're looking for a y-intercept. Oh, I gotta say next question, sorry. The equation below is the height or the jumping y-intercept, 2 decimal places. What's the correct interpretation of the x-intercept? Okay, so this, I don't feel like solving decimals by hand. So I'm gonna just go to a graph. And I'm going to put in the equation. Now remember, I'm using x's. No matter what letter they give you, you're using x's. Use this negative. Don't use, this is for subtract, this is for negative. Okay, so I've got my equation in. I'm just going to press enter. Menu 5, 1 to trace. Okay, so it goes through 0, 0, and it looks like about 5. Yeah, 5. So that means, what is it? Is it in seconds or feet? What is it? The horizontal distance in feet. Okay. Ah, so the x-intercept is going to be in feet. So we know it's going to be 5. Yes, so the equation is describing how tall. So h stands for the height, so the y is the height, and x is how far. The graph below describes the height of a bridge in terms of x. From the center of the arch, find the x-intercept running to 2 decimal places where necessary. What is the correct interpretation of the x-intercepts? Okay, so the x-intercept is, that's pretty close. I mean, we can't really get closer. It's about 190 feet from the middle. So if we do 190 times 2, I'm guessing this is the right one. So let's check. 190-ish times 2. Yeah, that makes sense to me. It's just telling me how wide this is. So this, if this is 190 and this is 190, add it together, that's your answer. Okay, find the coordinates of the vertex. Okay, so we don't know the coordinates of the vertex, but I do know that x is going to be basically your time, and that this is going to tell me how tall it is. So I'm guessing that this is the right one. It definitely didn't take this many seconds to reach the highest point. This might be true. Both of these might be true. So what we're going to do is we're going to graph this and see which one makes sense. Okay, negative 0.8 x squared plus 23 x plus 3. Okay, menu 5, 1 to trace. I'm going to put in 23 and just see if it makes any sense. Nope. 23 is not the highest because I can see the other edge over here. It's going to be much more in the middle. Let's try 13. Yeah. So it's 14.4 seconds and about 168. So this, this is the right one. This is the highest it gets. I think they're doing the 23 to try to throw you off from here. Okay, we got the vertex. Vertex is close to 11 and 126. Okay, we got the height. It did not take 126 seconds. It took about 13 seconds to reach the height. Nope, nope, nope. It hits the ground at 22 seconds. That's where they're getting the 22 from. Okay, you're done. Make sure you turn in a picture of, you should have a little bit of work written down. Those X's, make sure you have that turned in and you guys are good to go. Good luck.